Hello class, my name is Brandon Baldwin, and today I'm going to be talking to you about Vincent van Gogh and his painting Starry Night. So Vincent van Gogh, he was born in Groot Zundert, Holland on March 30th, 1853, and he died sadly on July 29th, 1890 in Auvers-sur-Oise, France. He was buried the same day on July 30th, 1890 at the same place, Auvers-sur-Oise, in their town cemetery in France, which is also Auvers-sur-Oise. His siblings, Theo van Gogh, Will van Gogh, Cor van Gogh, and his sisters Elizabeth Duquesne van Gogh and Anna Cornelia van Gogh. He was the son of a pastor. He was brought up in a religious and cultured atmosphere and was highly emotional, lacked self-confidence, and struggled with his identity and with direction. One of the most well-known post-impressionist artists, and for whom color was the chief symbol of expression. As you can tell on his painting to his left, that was painted by a famous artist. There's a lot of colors of blue, and you can definitely tell that he had a serious face because he also was emotional and didn't know how to picture it. So to continue, Van Gogh had already experienced 2 unsuitable and unhappy romances and had worked unsuccessfully as a clerk in a bookstore and an art salesman and a preacher in the Borneo, which is a dreary mining district in Belgium, where he was dismissed for overzealousness before becoming an artist. The style he developed in Paris and carried through to the end of his life became known as post-impressionism. It is a term encompassing works made by artists unified by their interest in expressing their emotional and psychological responses to the world through bold colors and expressive, often symbolic images, which is weird to say because he was very emotionally unstable, whereas this showed his artwork and became something that everybody looks at and wants to be as if they love that art. So lastly, he had mentors or teachers that helped him with his artwork so that he could become a great artist someday, which he is. This led to a lot of moving to different places and not having a stable home. In 1886, Van Gogh moved to Paris, where he encountered the works of the Impressionists and Neo-Impressionists and the pointillist compositions of Georges Seurat. Then this was led to certain aspects of art that he focused on and techniques that are used in a lot of his works today. By 1888, Van Gogh had returned to the French countryside, where he would remain until his death. So paintings where he was at and made from traveling. This is a picture that I found from an art museum in France. It shows many of his artworks and where he painted them at, depicting them. So as you can see, Starry Night or the Farmland is in the middle where he was at, and you can also tell other paintings that he painted in different districts of where he lived. So I chose the picture called The Starry Night. The painting was created in the year 1889. The artwork is an oil on canvas painting, and Van Gogh explained that he made the work because this morning I saw the countryside from my window a long time before sunrise with nothing but the morning star, which looked very big, which was a letter that he wrote to his brother Theo, which helped him out emotionally during his time in Paris and away from the family. The painting appears turbulent, even agitated, with intensely swirling patterns that seem to roll across its surface like waves. It is made with bright and calm colors to make the painting look relaxing and mellow. But the deeper meaning behind Starry Night is that Starry Night is said to be of Vincent van Gogh's agony in all of its aspects. The agony that comes from the painting, in opinion, would be that of Van Gogh's search for where he is religiously and searching for the answer through finding himself also. Starry Night is a complex symbolic image that can more properly be differentiated as expressing longing for a possible heavenly consolation, traditionally associated with Christian belief in an afterlife. Van Gogh had long considered starry skies and the crescent moon to be natural evocations of life beyond death and of the eternal. At first, in a traditional religious sense, and then in the problematic manner of a longed-for but distant consolation. Van Gogh noted in September 1888 that when I have the terrible need of, dare I say the world, religion, then I go outside at night to paint the stars. He did this because he had a boyfriend, and in Christian belief that is not correctly depicted in the Bible, and so him and his father had a lot of battlings back and forth together, so he didn't know if he would be with the family or not with the family, and that led to him cutting off his ear and sending it to his boyfriend. That was an affair, and it led to a lot of emotional aspects, and that's where he just wanted to look for. So another artist made Starry Night, but he did it with water and paint that little droplets on it, and his name is Gogh eye, and he's a Turkish Hebrew, which he creates dreamy pieces of art by using this art technique. And Hebrew, also known as decorative paper art, is one of the oldest Turkish arts, described as paintings on water. And the colorful patterns are formed by sprinkling and brushing colored pigments on a pan of oily water, and then these patterns are transferred to paper. Looking into this more, I saw this as like the most beautiful artwork I could ever see, and how interesting it takes for just little splashes of water and some little splashes of ink. And the mentality that this guy did to represent Van Gogh and many, many years ago, 200 years ago, just really shows that even with his artwork way back then, it still makes an impact on us today. And here's my works cited. Thank you for listening.